Welcome back, guys. It's Michelle Diamond, of course, Dejan Talks on Iconic Konvo. And this week we have an amazing guest. And want to welcome the amazing Meosha Bean. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm great.
That's
wonderful.
Good. So, I have so many things to delve into with you, and your accolade list is so long. Why don't you look into the camera, speak to this audience, connect, let them know who Meosha Bean is, where she started, and then we'll get to the nitty gritty.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Meosha Bean. For those who don't know me, I'm a filmmaker, an author, and a writer, director. I do it all, cinematography. I started out just making films and moved on into directing, and I've been doing it ever since.
Interesting. What kind of films?
Mainly horror films, but I did start out, at the beginning doing a lot of music videos. So music videos was my first start into like professional career.
Correct.
And then moving into horror.
Right. I think you even mentioned, with Chris
Brown, a lot of people. Yeah. Billy Idol. I mean, it's the list goes on. Yeah.
Awesome. So we here at Iconic usually just love to get a little bit of background as to what, took you on that journey into film music. What was it? Did you have that dream as a little girl that, hey, I wanted to pursue this? Yeah. Or did you have someone that set the bar for you and you're stepping in those footsteps?
That's a great question. Well, I think for me, I kind of always knew my brother. Actually, I gave it to my brother's gonna love this. I gave my brother credit. He was in TV's production. He was a bit older than me, so he brought a camera home one day, and I just fell in love. I was like, "Ooh, what's this thing?" And I took it, and then I started playing with it. And being the youngest, that was my safe haven. The way I could no one wanted to really play with me because everybody's older and I'm super young. So this camera was my friend, and I fell in love with it then. But I think when I knew I wanted to make films was one summer when I was 16. I rented the Alfred Hitchcock series. And I binge watched, and I just fell in love with the format and how he could tell stories and these little bit short stories. Right. And there was a consecutive of them, but it was a lot of them and back to back. And I was like, I just love this. I want to do that. So I started making short films on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. So with the film, starting out with short film, and then you've grown and blossomed so much. You've now have M.V.B. films, you have your podcast, get into it. Tell us about that. What motivated you, first of all, to start, hey, Tea Talk and the one that I love. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on with it. Come on, tell the people.
I feel like, you have to grow, right? And growth, you do things that scare you. And for me, that's the biggest thing for me. I love doing things that is a little off the beaten path. So I'm going to try this. And, I don't want to put myself in a box, because I hear that if most people would say you got to do just film. And I'm a naturally a curious person, very super curious. So I'm like, I want to know this. I want to know this creative outlet and learn and how it can develop my skill set as a filmmaker and just a creator all around. So I guess for me, the podcasting came for COVID. Right. I was locked down in California, and it was the most scariest feeling to be because I love to get out and do things, and I'm very I have a lot of friends, and it was the first time that I had to stay in and be alone. And I had a roommate, so it was just us two, but we were on our
totally
what I mean? But so I kind of was I have to get my creative juices flowing, because I was just doing nothing. So I ended up reaching out to a friend who's also a radio host. He's Cyrus Webb. Shout out to you. I called him and I was like, hey, how do you do this podcast thing? Because he has like 20 plus years. And he told me how to start by going online. You can do it on your phone. Wow. You can do it so I did it. And then it just started that way. It started during COVID, and I would talk to friends, and then people start loving the conversations, and I got other people in the business that I would talk to via web, Zoom, exactly. Right. And it was such an encouraging, and it got me through, honestly. That's because it was a lot.
Yeah, I can just imagine. And when you're saying it helped you continue to expound with your creative juices flowing, I know during that time it was very tough on a lot of people. And even though, we're like, hey, we're out of a pandemic, a lot of people are still, struggling with that, especially with what the pandemic did to them mindset wise. So with you embracing something that helps you to stay sane, I'm going to just call it for what it is, because you said, you were trying not to strangle each other, locked in with your roommates. So that's something amazing. What would you say to any creator, because that is the name of the podcast, Creator to Creators. What would you say to other creators out there, even though they're saying that the pandemic is over, we still know that, COVID is something that's prevalent, RSV, different things like that. What would you say to them to keep them on that journey of theirs, not to lose focus?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess for me, I would say is to know that you're not the only one going through it, and you're not alone. Like, there are people that are going through like some serious things, and I think being alone is a telltale sign. Like, a lot of people don't want to be alone. People are fearful of being by themselves and confronting, like, because it's scary to see yourself, because when you're around a lot of people, you don't have to face that.
So true.
So I think know that it's okay and that you're not alone, and then reach out to people. Like, don't be afraid to let people know how you feel, and like, hey, I'm going through some things. If you have friends, or some circle that you could talk to, definitely reach out to them. So that I feel like mental health is
amazing advice.
Important.
Mental health is definitely something that we give our support to, and I'm grateful that you pretty much, think along the same wavelengths. So this is amazing, like minds, I should say. So, how did you come up with the Creator to Creators?
Because we're all creatives, right? At the end of the day, everyone, it's just, it might not be like in the same, field, but we all are creatives in our own world. Like, a doctor is a creator in his own right. An artist is who paints is a creator. Everyone has their journey. So I felt like it was I want to talk to everyone who's creative. And I started out with, my circle, entertainment, because I know that, back of my hand. So, and then I talked to creative, because I wanted Creators to Creators, because I feel like, people can relate. It's relatable. And I didn't really see too many titles that, the podcast title. So I didn't want to steal someone's title that's already out there. So that was why I went with Creators to Creators.
Branding is everything. So
it's everything.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's definitely everything. But I really love that I can talk to creators who are going through the same thing or similar, and what do they use to get over their trauma or whatever their dark points that I can use for me. It's really like therapy, honestly.
Right.
Every guest, I take something away from them.
That's awesome.
I can add to my life.
That's awesome. Kudos on that. So with you having the background, you started out as an artist, you do so many different things. Do you believe it's a balance for where you are, being in the industry itself? You have the music, you have the acting, you also do the producing.
Yeah.
So you've done so much. So how do you balance all of that? Because I know you directed some films, you're an author. What does balance look like in Meosha's life?
I'm still working on that, honestly. I'm being honest. I'm still working on that. I think, you know, I have a natural high of like, I told the guy earlier, I was like, yeah, I'm a gypsy. Like I love always doing something but but I think for me it's I don't know. I think for me I have to know to slow down because I had a scare a couple years ago. To be quite honest, I don't think I've ever said this live ever. Oh God.
That's okay. Listen, you are in a safe space. We do actually. Michael has tissue. We can bring it out. No, seriously. I mean, this is a safe space. So we like to get to the root of everything because the balance for you, it's amazing. Like I look at you, you know, your age and everything that you've accomplished. So you should embrace that. And you know, when you're ready, and since you said you'd like to share that story, we encourage you and just know that you have support. So.
Thank you. Well, you know, honestly, I think I had a scare, and I'm a pretty strong person, but I think it was just I got to a place where I think after the pandemic, you know, that kind of weird space that, you know, talking to people and people just didn't know how to like, you know, I think people were like just being a little weird. You know, I think it affected a lot of people. Like even just being in like social areas, people don't know how to be social anymore, and they're just kind of awkward. I think it's the residue of COVID of being away from people for so long. But I had to figure out, like, okay, Meosha, like, what is it that you? What do you want to like? What is your like finding a purpose? Because I think that's a big thing for me. And what fulfills me, and I had to like have that inner work, and I think I didn't know I think I knew what drove me to film, but you know what I mean, like it's that thing of like, what are we doing it for? I mean, I've been to so many red carpets, I've been to so many film premieres, I've done so many movies, I met a lot of celebrities. Okay, what's next? You know, like it was that stage for me, and I think I kind of fell into like this dark space in my life, and I was like, and I've never been that. To that place, that level for me.
It's relatable, and I'm quite sure, you know, you actually, that feeling resonated with someone out there. So thank you for sharing that, because we know that absolutely a lot of people are having some setbacks with the whole COVID experience, and then with everything else that's following, you know, the things that are happening worldwide, you know, it's a scary time. So I totally get it. So on this journey where you rounded up, I'm going to say, and you let me know if this resonates with you, if I said it correctly, you felt like you lost yourself for a moment.
A little bit. I did.
Okay. So how did you find Meosha again?
It's a good question. I stepped away from social media for a little bit and really did that inner work. The you know, I think as much as we are creative, we have to also feed our souls.
There you go.
And you know, look to God, honestly, and to like go within and see like, okay, the source is what my best, you know, my friend and I say.
That's so important, and I'm glad that you said that. Again, that fact that you stated right there definitely resonated with someone. And you're speaking to people now because you know, there are other people in the industry that may have felt the same way, and they may not know what's going on. And then you just said, hey, take a moment, step back, reflect, do the inner work. And that's so relevant. And you have to be zealous about you, and you have to make sure that you're pouring into you before you could pour into others. So in order for you to be the creative that you are, took the necessary time for yourself to reflect and just find who you are. And now you're just pouring out a lot of stuff. I mean, you have the awards that you're doing coming up, and I don't want to get it wrong, so you know, I have my little cheat sheet, y'all. Okay, normally I don't use cheat sheets, but just wanted to get the name correct. The Bloody Peach Film Festival, and that's all about women in horror, and I think that's like so amazing. So tell us a little bit more about this festival and who it's highlighting and what it means for you to be receiving awards here.
It feels like, okay, I'm on the right track. You know what I mean? Sometimes I work so much that I have so many things going on that I don't sit down to like be like, oh wow, to think about the things that I've done. I'm very grateful to Bloody Peach, the head of the film festival. She actually reached out to me via Instagram, but hey, I'm still very grateful for it.
Yes. Any type of recognition, I feel, is well worth it.
Definitely.
And it's not as though you haven't received many acknowledgments, because Screen Rant did an amazing, huge article on you. So could you just tell us about that article? I mean, you were named among some of the top tier names out there. I mean, I was just like, wow, this is like important. And to be, a color girl in film in general, it's just breathtaking. So
thank you.
So tell us a little bit about that article.
It's crazy. When I got a call from a friend, and he's like, yo, look, you're in this article. My friend found out. Or I knew. I was like, okay. He's like, check this out. Send me the link. And I went to the link, and I was reading. I was like, okay. And so I was scrolling down each, and then I saw my face as number one. Like,
yes.
I was like, get out of town. Yes. Like, this is cap. Like, what's happening here? Like, what? Is this a joke? Am I being punked? But it just kind of showed, and it was actually at a time where I felt very like, what is all this work for? And then God shows you a sign like, well, here, this is what it's for. Like, you are on the right track.
Right.
Keep going.
I mean, we're all humans just as we are.
Absolutely.
However, they have done their due diligence to get to where they are. So to be mentioned with greats such as Lupita, and so I was just like, this is just awesome. And it goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
Embrace that. You're doing something right. You're heading in the right direction. So, always embrace those wins.
Yes.
Never always look at all the flaws. It's good to reflect, but don't stay there.
That's right.
So
I like that.
With encouraging others to just reflect and move on, you see what can happen being consistent and shining in your right, which also led you to your book, and it's a children's book. So it's just from one end of the scale to the other. So what brought you to this point of the actual book? Because I just want to throw it out there like, listen, go get the book.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I actually was thinking like, okay, what could I do creatively that would fill my spirit? And I felt like I've always wanted to write something about it, and I definitely wanted to have a tell-all book. I want to write a book about my life, because my life is crazy. Like, I have a lot of crazy things that happens that led me up to where I am now. Like, it's insane. But I was like, okay, but that's not yet. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm still working on you know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, okay, God, what do you think I should do? And I of course, I'm a PK kid, if you can't tell it. Shout out to my parents. Very good foundation. I didn't like it growing up, but I really love it because of the industry that I'm in now. It's definitely it's a good thing to have out here in this jungle.
Right. Absolutely.
But the book came about because I was like, who could you impact? Who could we impact? And of course, it's the youth, the new the generation to come. That's they're looking at what we're doing.
They're sponges right now.
Exactly. So I felt like I could tap into that. And when I was a kid, I wanted to have that kind of role model of something I can look up to and read and like, oh, wow, someone looks like me. I could, they dream big. I can do that.
And the title of the book, Unbound Horizon, what brought that title?
Well, I live my life without limits. I live,
because guess what? The only limit you have is those that you place on yourself. So listen, we're just going to counter. Amen. Okay, so keep going. You said it correctly. You live your life without limits.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you know, I really, not to get so deep on here, but I can.
Yes.
I try to live my life like without limiting myself. And the unbounded horizons, it just sounds like, I don't know, I think unbounded just came like just not being bound to things or whatever that thing that kind of imprisons your mind mentally.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You answered my next question.
Okay.
Because I was about to ask, so what does your limit look like to you?
Oh. Oh, wow. We're getting poetic on here. My limit. That's a good one. I don't think I've ever had that question before. This is good.
Right.
You know, just the morals that I have now, that who I am now, Meosha, the version I am now, because I do believe that, you know, I'm not the same person that I was a year ago or 3 months ago. I'm always trying to do the inner work of self and that growth of like really mentally trying to get beyond myself, because that's what we're here for. We're not here to stay the same. We're here to share whatever that thing is. I guess that your calling that God has placed on you, whatever that looks like with others. There we go. Your purpose. That's it. So yeah, I think for me though, I do have limits because, you know, I've been, not to get too into my personal life, but I used to live my life where, you know, at the beginning of my career, I was very, very green, and coming from a small town in Florida, getting into
you have to break that down for those that may not understand the terminology.
Gotcha.
What is green?
Right.
What are you referencing
Just
when you
very
say
new
green?
to all of it, the business, the how the entertainment is, and you know, I think everyone kind of, I think that's why Hollywood is so like sought after. They're like, oh, goo goo gaga all over. It's like, it's like, oh, you can touch it, but I've gotten to touch pretty close, very close, and I've gotten to see the lifestyle of different things and the good and bad of the business, and I definitely know what my limits are just from those things.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's great.
And you know, you shared a little bit of the personal, and I like to tap into the personal. You know, when you allow us to, because it brings you to where you are in your life and who you are. You know, and how people see you. So, with you coming up with the concept and the title of the book, Unbound Horizon, bringing it back a little, what will the readers take away from that book?
I want a kid or anybody honestly who reads it to live their life not by society's expectations of you, you know, but that know it's okay to live the life, you know, and make mistakes, because that's what growth is. You're not gonna not make mistakes, right? You have to learn from it so that you can know, okay, I shouldn't go down this. This is a no. I'm gonna go this way this time, you know. And I think it's very important. But society always, you know, has this. You have to do this. You have to do it this way, and that bounds you. So I want readers to know that anything's possible, because I'm a girl from Florida who accomplished and got to do all these things that I'm doing because I just stepped out on a leap of faith and just, you know, wanted to change my circumstances for me. That's it.
Amazing. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys grab the book, Unbound Horizon. Where can they get the book?
Amazon. Amazon.
Awesome. Okay, so Unbound Horizon on Amazon. So let's kick it up a notch. Take me to horror noir.
Oh, what's a good one?
Yes, tell me a little bit about that. And how did you actually get that role and what that meant to you? And for those that don't know what horror noir is.
It's a documentary that we did in 2019. And I got the role. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm like, no, we're in a serious one. I was gonna be like, the Illuminati, because everybody thinks that you gotta sell your soul to have those kind of jobs. Okay, I'm bringing it back. No, no, it was a beautiful soul. Her name, Ashley Blackwell, to be exact. She followed my career when I was like maybe all the way at 16. I'm much older now. I will not. Gotta Google that at my age. Not gonna say it. But yeah, she's been following my career for a while, and she, we were very cordial online. Hi, I love your work. Thank you. And I was making a lot of short films. My short films would get like 100,000, some a million,
right,
on YouTube, and and I was putting stuff out. Fast forward, I'm still making films, and she did an article on me, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. And it was like a write-up of a lot of my recent work, and it just showed me that she was really paying attention to my stuff. And then I think in 2019 or 2018, roughly towards the end, almost in 2018, she reached out to me about a project talking about, she's like, how do you feel about talking about all things horror and Black people, the Black experience through the horror genre? And I said, yeah, totally down, count me in. So yeah, she's like, cool. And then she reached out to me again sometime later, and she's like, okay, so we're going to shoot this project. She kind of filled me in, and we shot it downtown LA at the theater. And she's like, hey, here's the address. I'm the kind of person that's like, okay, like that's just me. It's not safe. I'm gonna just check it out.
So you're a risk taker.
I very much.
We like risk takers. Hey.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell people to do that because
listen, if you don't try, then listen, you limit yourself. No, you have to take risks.
Definitely.
So guys, we're going to push pause on that thought, and we're going to go to commercial break, and we will be back to get more on Meosha. We're back with Iconic Konvo with Diamond and Dejan Talks. Unfortunately, Dejan could not be here this evening. However, we do have the amazing Meosha in the building, and she's keeping me good enough company. So, Dejan, your loss, my gain. Ha ha. Anyway, so Meosha, just before we get back into everything we were talking about you, that was funny. I wanted to give a huge announcement about the CIS Expo, which will be taking place on Saturday, October 21st, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Matchstick ATL. Make sure you grab your tickets because, listen, they're going like hotcakes. And listen, we may have Meosha in the building, y'all. So y'all got to come out and meet her. Yes, it's going to be the it thing. You better get there. Listen, come red carpet ready because it's going to be amazing. All right, so back to Meosha and her amazing journey. Meosha left off talking about boundaries, talking about taking risks. That was the last topic. And, we know that in everything that we do in life, you have to take that step, that leap of faith. Because if you don't, you're like, you never know what the outcome could be. And you are a prime example. Because of you taking those steps, you were able to tap into other things. You tapped into your artistry as a musician. You've done your podcast stuff. You've actually become a director, now an author. So tapping into self is so necessary.
1,000%.
Right. So with tapping into self, it also led you into the director mode. Tell us a little bit about the film you directed, name, and where we could find it, and what it's all about. What was the experience like?
Definitely. I directed this. Well, it's funny. My directorial, I guess you would say, debut was, and it was written by one of my closest friends, French actor Alain Delabie. Shout out to you, my friend.
Hello, I've known Alain Delabie.
Yeah, 13 years now. He reached out to me. I think it was like roughly 2018, 2017 about the project, and he's like, I want you to direct this. And I'm like, it's not horror. It's not what I desire to make, and it was an action project and completely outside of my element. But of course, I do things that scare me.
How was that experience?
It was different, definitely different. But I knew that he trusted me. He wanted my vision. And he said, I think you could bring a different type of element and a different vision than, you know, what he had in the previous, because he had like it was actually started as a series. And then he's like, no, I want to make this a movie, a full-length movie. And I was like, okay, let's do it, you know, down. So we raised the funds, and surprisingly we got the funds, and he was like, we should ask for more. I was like, I know, but you just never know with that.
Right. See, if you don't take risks, you never know. You have to take the leap of faith. So,
Absolutely.
So where can the viewers find this amazing film title?
Anatomy of an Anti-Hero Redemption. That's I mean, it's on DVD, Blu-ray, Walmart, Tubi, YouTube. You can find it on Amazon. You know, all the places. Just type it in. You know, it's one of my. It's a fun one. The fun one. I had a good time making it. We had a oh gosh, you know the workout video called Taibo?
Yes.
So we had him in as a cameo in the film, and it was great. I actually got to learn how to direct the scene, choreograph scene with martial arts, because he's a martial artist,
right?
And it was exciting. I learned so much. And there's this one scene where Alan had to do like a kick to the bad guy, and he was like. And I was trying to get this motion with the camera, and I was telling, I was like, okay, let's do it this way. He was like, Meosha, I can make it simple. I was like, oh, do tell. So he's like, just put the pants of the pants that Alan's gonna wear onto the stick of a broom, and then put the shoe on top of the broom, and then just swipe over the so it gives the effect of
okay, that is.
And I was like, oh, brilliant.
Ooh, camera tricks. Ooh, you should drop some pointers.
There you go.
Did you catch it? Okay. That's awesome. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So with being a director, and we touched a little bit on horror noir, tell us a little bit more about that and what that means.
Ooh, it's monumental, I believe.
Yes.
It was I didn't know what I was walking into, honestly. She didn't tell me who was in it, who was attached, which I am so grateful she didn't, because I think of it made me nervous. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, am I worthy of my resume is long, but it's not, you know what I mean? A Keith David,
so humble.
Jordan Peele,
come on,
Loretta Devine,
I know,
come on, the list goes on.
And that's why I kept referencing it, because I'm just like, listen, when I did the research, I was just like, I need her to elaborate a little bit more and just delve in, tell us about that full experience and what that means to people, because I believe from research that horror is something that's climbing up there. It's charting. And I just need your perspective on everything.
Yeah. I never was a part of anything like that before. My first time. So I was super excited. So I get there, and, they're asking us questions. Another fellow filmmaker, Monica Sergi, she's actually going to be at the Women in Horror on the 19th as well. So shout out to you. She's based of California native filmmaker as well.
It sounds like I might need to pull up at the Blue
Beach
Film Festival.
Okay, come on out. It's gonna be great. Yeah. So I mean, it was beautiful, and I in the moment you're in the moment, you don't really think about how important this is,
right?
Not only for the culture, but just as a and I hate putting myself in a category, but I am a Black horror filmmaker, woman. I mean, that's a lot of titles.
We're going to touch on that.
So it was like, okay, wow, I'm here with the greats. And I mean, you see all these directors, and you're thinking, I remember watching your shows when I was like, yay, hi, who would have thought? And even down to the premiere, and when we went, I sat next to Rachel True from The Craft. The big horror film, The Craft.
Of course.
And she nudged me during the theater at the premiere. Girl. I mean, I love her. She's great.
She did another one. Anyway.
We love Rachel.
Yes.
And Rachel nudges me. She says, "Look, that's you. That's you." I was like, and it was kind of surreal because I was like, "That's Rachel True," like nudging me, saying that's you. She's really great. But I feel like this project is not just great for myself, but great for a lot of girls, around the world that can see themselves like, wow. And it's important to talk about these. I mean, a lot of horror films, I had no idea that in our cult, like during the, in our era, that I had never watched. I was like, wow, I learned so much. I was like, I gotta go back and watch this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 60s, and
of course,
so the documentary is essentially
that's
about,
why I said on a gradual climb.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I referenced that. So you said a mouthful.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to be not only a Black filmmaker, but a Black horror female filmmaker?
What does it mean? Feels like I have a responsibility in a way, because a lot of in our community, a lot of girls, especially this generation, it's a little different. But I want to encourage other young girls. You could do it too. Like, come on, you could. And I feel like in our culture, it's not something that we do a lot of. I don't really see a lot of horror women in film, but we're out here. We're here.
Yes,
there's a lot of us, but it's not on the mainstream level, right, as opposed to our other counterparts.
So when you said that, what do you feel that it would take to get that recognition and to let little girls or even little boys that are interested in horror filmmaking know that it's okay and that this is something that they too can explore?
I think we should. It's like what Tyler Perry did. Tyler Perry was knocking on doors. I mean, his story is very inspiring. You hear him saying he went to a lot of big studio companies and they did not see his vision. And then he just went on to create his own. And I feel like that's what it's going to take. We have to create our own projects. If you want to be the change, if you want to see the change in the industry, you have to be the change.
Absolutely.
So it starts with us. What do I want to see? And then make it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. So I definitely love that. And just want to take it back a little bit to the beginning, because I know you talked about the Hitchcock. That was what kind of set you on this journey. How was it with support in your pursuit of the industry? Because, we know growing up, we're always told, oh, lawyer, doctor, nurse. What was it like for you, the experiences that you had? Did you have an amazing support system? Did you have some,
That's good. That's a good question. I'm very grateful for my parents for believing in me. They would shout out to mom and dad. I love you guys. They would when I was younger. I did get into modeling and acting as a young age. So they would take me to like auditions that were like an hour and away and drive back when I was a kid. Started just so I can get some understanding of and some work under my belt. And they enlisted me into like John Casablanca's modeling talent agency. So I was a part of an agency. I was working when I was a kid. I was doing some things and I got some jobs for sure. I got on a few commercials. So I got a little,
So she's not new to this, okay? She's true to this.
But, it wasn't I didn't feel like I hit my calling yet. Like, I love acting, but it's not my heart. It's not my focus point. It's something that I will do, Right. But I have an agent, but it's not like I'm like, it's not like I'm over here like auditioning every day, 20 auditions. I have friends that shoot like they do get on camera and like just submit all day. I'm like, I'm not about that life. That's if it's for me, it's for me. I put it out there, I let it go, and that's just how I am. I feel like, so I do have supportive parents, but as far as like other people, when they found out that I wanted to do the whole film stuff, it was very like mixed reactions. like, you're gonna do that? You're gonna, okay, no, that's not a real job. You hear that.
So how did those rebuttals affect you, and how did you work past them?
It was tough. It was tough at first because, you're thinking, well, you feel like you feel pressure to go and then do the
Traditional.
what I
does
mean?
traditional look like?
There we go.
Sorry.
Right. Right. That's the question is like, what does that look like? But I guess it's like getting a 9 to 5 and then, getting acclimated, staying in Florida. And to me, I've always felt like I was an outsider. Even in Florida, I didn't feel like I belonged for a long time. So I was like, Mom and Dad, I'm going to go to Cali and pursue this film stuff. And they were like, okay. But what's great about that, I got a job, my first professional job, I guess. Well, somewhat professional, but it was a music video for like a small shoot. I shot it on my camera. I had a Canon, to be quite okay, Canon T2i.
Ooh.
So for those out there, you can still shoot on those, but that was years ago. Don't do it now.
See, her age is coming out, y'all. See?
Oh God. Oh boy. So I get a call from this rapper named Two Piece. I give it to him. Two Piece, and he reached out to me about shooting a music video for him, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we ended up
That's awesome.
getting Roy Jones Jr., the boxer from Pensacola, Florida, in the music video. So we ended up going out there to Florida, Pensacola, and we shot it, and that was amazing. And some things kind of transpired that ended up me staying there for 2 years, and Roy and his family who were open their doors to me, and I was with them for 2 years. Him and his family, and I learned so much.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
So that growth again. See, that's awesome.
Taking risks. That's what it is.
Exactly. See, and now you're feeling the abundance from that because you zealously went after what you believed in.
Absolutely.
See? So that's awesome. Okay. And I use those words because we're just learning so much on our journey ourselves, abundance.
Yeah.
And we have an amazing coach, Coach Greta. Thank you very much, Reverend Coach Greta. She's taking us on that, the abundance book, and just tapping into you. Like you said, you have to do the inner work. So we connected when you said that. So we're here. So this is just breathtakingly amazing. And, I just want you to talk to the artists out there, because you're an artist in its sense. You're an artist, director, all of the above. She's a philanthropist. Okay, she's doing it all. So telling them to stay on their journey, letting that little girl, that little boy know that it is possible. What would you say to them if you had the opportunity face to face?
Your dreams are valid. Yeah. Whatever you feel like that inner thing that moves you, that you really love to do, explore that. Don't let it die. Let that creative, even if you don't understand what it is, explore it. As time goes on, you're going to be, if you explore it and you open yourself up to that creatively, whatever that is for you, it will manifest into something greater than something you could ever imagine. I feel like for me, it's that's how you find your purpose as well, your God-given purpose, the reason what we're here for. Because yes, for me, I believe that film is just one part of the direction that God wants to put us in. It's the foundation of who I am, but it's not all who I am. So just don't limit yourself, and dream without limits. Just go for it, and don't listen to anybody. Anybody says that you can't do it, it's because they haven't done it.
Yes. See, you had to bring out the steps ourselves. Yes, I love that.
Yes.
Thank you. And with that note, I'm going to bring up this point, because so many of you guys got affected by this. And when I say you guys, the industry, we're going to talk about the SAG-AFTRA strike a little bit. We have permission to talk about this. So yay. Thank you very much. And if you could just touch on it a little bit. How did that affect you?
You know, I was on a podcast with my friend, and she asked me that same question. How did it affect you? And I said, it really didn't affect me because I have been an entrepreneur for all my life, right? So I've been a self-driven person. So when the industry stopped, I didn't stop. You have to
say that again one more time. I don't think they heard you in the back.
Okay.
I don't think they do. They need to hear you way in the back of the bleachers, nosebleed.
Right. Yeah, when the industry stopped, I didn't stop. And I feel like that's complete freedom. Personally. When you can do the things you love even when there's chaos going around and still make money and be okay. That's ultimate freedom. And I've been that that has been my journey all my life. Like, yes, I love being in the business and I work in the business, but I also have other means of income creatively that I do. So you can't forget that. Wow. Because a lot of people are, and listen, not to say you can't strike and go and walk and march. If you believe in something, I say go do it. Like, who am I to tell you to stop and do it? Like, if you believe something, do it. Because that's what you believed in, go for it. But I personally feel like a lot of it, and I sound like
come on, I'm reeling you in. Let's go. I went fishing and I hooked that big fish and I want it. Let's go.
Okay. So yes. not to say that this is not a good cause or a thing, but just because the media says to do something, you don't have to go that route. Like you have to have your own direction in this business, because then you're not connected to source. You're connected to the industry.
If you don't, come on.
You know what I'm saying? The industry is going to tell you what to feel, what to do, how to be. And then you're just following and not leading yourself.
So did you guys hear that? Let me break it down in layman terms. She pretty much said you have to bank on you. In layman terms, you have to bank on you.
That's right.
Can you bank on you? Are you there? Are you willing to do the work to get there? Because when everything else push pause, what do you have? Go inside, do that work. And I love that. See, when you said industry stop, you have to keep going. Money, and I'm learning this all through, listen, the acronym.
Yeah.
Money is my own natural energy yield.
I like that. I like
my own natural energy yield. Listen, when I tell you the inside work is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's whatever you put into it.
Yes.
It's naturally yours.
Yes.
And what is money?
Come on.
Is it just what we see out here, the paper?
Right.
That wealth is so much more than that. So you got it, and I love that.
That's good. You make me want to snap.
No, this is amazing, because people have to understand that, in everything that we're doing, we have to do it passionately. And that's why we've been utilizing the word zeal, abundance, and power, and what I took from everything that you said also is, at times you just need to do that reset, hit that refresh button, just like on our phones. Sometimes we have to power down and have it reboot.
That's right.
The computer does the same thing. You hit that refresh button and you get a nice brand new page that pops up, right? So it's the same thing that you have to do in life.
Yes.
You have to push pause, reset, and come full force. Just ready.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
Yes, we have to take stuff by the horn.
Ooh, that's
right. It's ours. Let's not get all spiritual and talk about source.
Taking you to church tonight.
I'm serious. I mean, it's ours. It's naturally ours. We were given that naturally. So what says that somebody else, they're the only ones that can have? We were given dominion as well.
Yes, indeed.
We have dominion over ourselves. Just because they have, the issue is we're busy watching everybody else and not watching our own path.
That's it. Put
that energy watching others into watching yourself. Look in the mirror, reflect, and get moving on the right path.
Amen.
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 We're not going to take them too far in church today. I'm just saying, okay? But, Dijon would be here and he would come back up with some basic things. But, it just does a lot. And I'm on a journey myself. And that's why I believe the energy just meshed so well, and today marks 30 years that my mom has, been deceased, may she rest in peace. And I've been battling with that for so long about grief and how to overcome and, learn to process that that's not my circumstance. Whatever I choose to dictate my life or have dominion over me, then that's what's going to happen. Grief is not going to be the battle for me, so it's just powerful because it all ties together with the mindset that we initially started with and what we're going to close on is the pandemic did a lot to people. And not only the pandemic was only a heightened situation into things that was hidden under the surface. See, there was something already brewing that was in the spirit deep down below. Absolutely. And then when you were forced into isolation, it was just you and yourself. You had to deal with you.
That's it.
And that's how people didn't understand how to deal with themselves. And it forced them. And some people just weren't ready.
No.
They weren't ready.
They weren't. Not at all. It's scary.
But you said a mouthful, and I'm just so happy. You told, that little boy, that little girl, how they could pursue, their careers. You gave them encouragement. You talked about your book, where to find it on Amazon. Listen, Finding Horizon, we just got to keep going and then check out her podcast. Creator to Creators. Tap into Tea Talk. Listen, she has so much going on, and just follow her and let them know where they can find you on social platforms.
Oh, just Meosha. That's Meosha Bean. Bean. You can Google me and everything pops up.
Yes, and we love it. And Meosha, thank you so much for coming all the way out here to, bless us, grace us with your beautiful energy. We so appreciate you. And make sure y'all come through because y'all can see Meosha, and I'm speaking it into existence. She'll be right there on the carpet October 21st. At the Sis Expo. See you there. This is Michelle Diamond and Dijon Talks with Iconic Konvo. Until next time.